test. Great. Bet you never saw me with my hair down before, huh? Bet you didn't see that one coming, Chief.
Yes.
Oh. That is my browser. Give me a second. There we are. Okay. Let me just very quickly ping everybody on Discord. I'm gonna copy the link. We are live now. Good. I don't know if I should wait for a second. Just to be clear, I'm not like playing the intro for a reason. Hi Opal. Okay. I mean, I don't have to wait for everybody, right? Or do I have to wait for everybody? I don't know. Good. We have that. We have this. Everyone should be well informed. Good. Okay, so what the fuck is going on? Very simply put, this stream is cancelled. See you guys next week. Okay, no, hang on. Okay, let me wind down for a second. So here's the thing. Today I wanted to work on Engellied again, but the project file doesn't load, right? So yeah, and at that point it was a little bit too late for me to troubleshoot the thing and actually fix it. So yeah, this stream is a bust. It's completely a bust because I could work on a different track that works, but I'm in the mood for Engellied and I don't have any ideas for any other tracks at the moment. So yeah. Now I thought to myself, okay, I could call the stream off like last minute, right? It'll be a huge disappointment. Or, you know what? Instead of just calling off the stream and drowning myself in my own frustration, I'm going to share my frustration with you. Because the thing is, this thing has been plaguing me for years, right? This is not something that happened recently with Why? Okay. Yes, we're back. We're back. I think the stream was scuffed from the start. Okay. Good. Welcome to FL Studio, right? The project file just loaded, so I guess that the time where the stream crashed was actually a good time. But you might already start to notice something very, very strange. Just by looking at this alone, right? So the help menu at the very top, or I guess the hint panel, still works, right? I can select things and it still works. What might be a little bit strange is that the scrolling bar at the very top is has the visual, so it's like the visual of the scrolling bar at the top looks like as if the entire project file is currently in view in the playlist in this little square over here, right? But that's not the case. I'm just looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, around this area of the FLP, right? This other area is obscured, as you can see, right? What you might also notice is that usually this, usually the visual of all of the clips that are on the playlist, right, over here, they are not getting obscured. Usually a file like doesn't show this visual if they are not within, you know, the range over here, right? So that's not working. That's very, very strange. If I try to play something, you might think, okay, the playhead still works. No. So the project file still plays, right? And I can hear the track, but this doesn't move. The playhead doesn't move. I cannot scroll down. I can't scroll up, even though you can see the scroll wheel at the very left of the screen is moving, right? Same thing if I want to move horizontally. I can't do that. Very strange. What else can't I do? If I open up any sort of like right-click menu, like let's say for example I want to change something in this sample, it doesn't look right. You can't see it actually because hang on, I think it's because hang on. Let's do this in Windows 10. Maybe now you can see the menu. No, okay. Let me do like a screenshot of the menu. Screenshot, save it. Replace. Image. Let's go to home and recent. This is how the right-click menu looks. So all the text over here, right, just fades out. It fades out completely. What also happens is that whenever I click on a certain option, because I can still do that, it's going to fix. It's going to fix that the little highlight that pops up whenever I do press on an option. So it looks like, let me actually switch up the image. So it looks like this, right? This little bar is now stuck on the playlist, right? Which is strange, right? One thing that I can somewhat do to navigate the playlist, which, you know, doesn't make it usable, but what I can do is I can use shift right click. But as you can see, it's like doing it in a very choppy motion, right? And mind you, I do have smooth animations on. Ah yes, the right click, the options menu also doesn't work, but I can still see my options. Animations entertain me, smoothing is on, ultra smooth is on. It's supposed to like very gently glide into the section that I'm trying to zoom into, but it's not doing that. Mind you, if I click right click, it shows me the entire FLP. If I let go of right click, it shows me something, right? So that doesn't work. Now, as I said, it's kind of a way to navigate because, well, now I am looking at the other half of the FLP, and I can put the player head on it, and I can play it. But the same issue persists that, well, I mean, for one, the player head doesn't move. I can't really access anything. Maybe the sample. Maybe I can access this, right? But here, the same thing. I'm trying to scroll on the channel rack, and that also doesn't work. Yeah, the piano roll is also broken, right? And yeah, overall, this is unusable. I can't work like this, right? That's the gist of it. So it's this very strange bug where the entire GUI is like kind of frozen, right? But you can still somewhat interact with pieces, and yeah, it's been plaguing me for years, and it's the reason why I've lost a project file back in 2023, I think, right? Because, well, it had that weird GUI bug and I couldn't work on it anymore. It's recovered now, but I would like to fix this, especially with this update, because, well, this update gives me more mixer slots, which, by the way, I can also not scroll on the mixer channel, on the mixer rack, so you can even see it slightly on the screen over here. It doesn't let me scroll at all. So yeah, so that's the problem that I'm having, right? And mind you, I'm gonna repeat this again so that people have it clear. This is not exclusive to FL 2025. I think FL 2025 is supposed to work flawlessly, right? I think it's working flawlessly for everybody else, but it's only me who has this weird bug, and I don't know why, right? And again, it has been like bothering me for years, probably back in FL 20, right? So, what causes this strange bug? I have no clue. What, I can somewhat try to solve this by doing, 3 things, I think. The first one is I open up that FLP, right, with the very strange glitched out state, right, and I try to remove some plugin that might be causing this issue. And I did this the last time that this happened, where I removed the contact instances, right? These usually have contacts, right? They're gone. They're samplers now. I can do that either inside of the FLP, or I can do that with a diagnostic tool, right? But it sucks because you never know which plugin it is, right? So you can just keep on guessing and keep on deleting stuff, and at some point, the project file is completely unusable because you deleted everything. The second option would be to not do huge project files. This only happens when an FLP has a certain size, but I don't know what exactly, if it has too many plugins, or if it has too much stuff on the screen, or if it's because of of RAM or of the GDI. I don't know. Nobody knows, because I tried researching online and nobody has this issue for some reason. Or lastly, what I can do is I can try to go to a previous version of the project file, because I do keep copies, and try to start from there or recover things from there, and just maybe somehow work it up again. But that means I'm starting from scratch every single time this happens, right? And in this case, you guys remember last stream we worked on the break over here, right? After the drop, the section's gone now, because I didn't do a backup of that, because I thought, well, the contact instances are gone. I assume FL is going to handle this perfectly, and it didn't. So, shucks, right? So yeah, that's what I'm dealing with every single time I try to make any any song, because at this point, every single song that I make is huge. It's massive, and yeah, I like adding a lot of stuff on my project files, right? And this is a really frustrating. It's a very frustrating limitation, right? Because I want big project files, and FL 2025, the newest version that just came out, right, would allow me to do that if it weren't for this one stupid bug, right? For which I don't have any solution for. So yeah, I don't think that's exclusive to FL 2025. It's a thing that has been happening way before that. And I don't know how to fix it. So yeah, I'm gonna try using this stream as a way to like document this bug for a moment. And I think after this short little stream, I'm gonna try and file a ticket, because I'm out of options at this point. I don't know what else to do, right? Because deleting plugins is more of a temporary solution, and every single time I just have to pray that it works. So I don't know what actually causes the issue, right? Not even the diagnostic tool, which is built in FL, tells me what the issue is, right? Because, sure, it lists me every single plugin that is being used, but these plugins are usually called, 3D Parametric EQ number 2, and it just says that multiple times. Then it says Patcher, OTT, Channel Crusher, all that kind of stuff. So I have no clue which plugin it is, right? Oh, also one more thing that I wanted to mention, right? When I switch back to my basic template, which I also want to show you. So when I close out of that FLP and I switch back to my basic template and I try to work over there, the issue persists, right? So it's not because, it's not like, it's not just like a thing that happens only within that project file, right? It switches something in FL that completely breaks it, right? And once again, I want to mention that these like small little, hang on, that these small little image things, this guy over here, right, still persists. I have them all over the screen, right? So, I don't know. It's really specific, and it's frustrating, and it's the reason why I have to cancel the stream. So, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna read the chat now because I've been neglecting it because I wanted to explain my sorrows and pains. So, yeah. Anyways, so FL 2025, it's a great update. More mixer tracks means more possibilities. It's great. It's lovely. Just that it isn't lovely for me because of that bug. So, yeah. It's an oddly specific thing to happen. I don't know if it's like oddly specific or if the answer and the solution is very, very obvious. I don't know. I tried many things deleting plugins, as I just said. I tried switching settings within FL, outside of FL, performance plans on my CPU, on my PC. I tried to isolate FL in a sense. Nothing works. Nothing works. Is it for this project only? No, this did happen to me before. It happened to me on 2 other projects, right? One was Asterix Offenbarung, right? Which is a track that is technically lost, right? But because I rendered out the last version, I thought, well, okay, it already kind of sounds finished, so I released it. Nowadays, I do have the possibility to recover it because I did have many backups, right? So that's a thing. The other is a track that is close to coming out called Beneath the Beneaths, where it also happened. I don't know, I just had way too much stuff, and yeah, the GUI froze. I think it also happened to... Maybe it happened to many more projects because it's not just these 2, I think. Yeah. And yeah, and now it happened to this one as well. So, yeah. It's very, very strange. We can't see it, the hexagon cuts it out. Oh, whoa, shit. But okay, but you saw what was happening, right? The entire GUI freezing and not being able to navigate the playlist, the piano roll, mixer rack, channel rack, whatever. So yeah. Didn't you just get a new PC? I got it last year, half a year ago actually, and yeah, it's a beast. It is a beast, right? And I made sure that it runs well, that it's deep loaded, that it doesn't have any weird things going on. But no, even a beast like this, it still happens. It happens on this laptop as well, which is like, it's a Legion 5 from 2021, right? Made by Lenovo. It's technically, when a company makes a laptop, right? Technically, it has a bit more compatibility with like apps and stuff. It still has a bug on that laptop. It had that bug on my old tower. I think it also had that bug back when I still had that crappy laptop where I started making music in. I don't know. So it's not specific to hardware. That's for sure. And it's still happening. Yep. It's also the reason why I started to split project files, right, into multiple FLPs, right? So tracks tend to have tend to be combined by maybe like 6 FLPs because I split them up into intro, build up, drop, breakdown, second build up, second drop, outro, right? I split them all up because I'm so paranoid of this bug ruining my life and ruining my progress. So yeah, do you think it could be a third-party plugin? It's a suspicion, but it's like, if it's a plugin, I don't know which one it is. Because as I mentioned, last time I removed both contact instances that I had in that project file. You even saw it, right? It was replaced by samplers. And it worked, right? It worked for a bit, and that's how I could work last stream. But today, it doesn't work anymore. And I don't know why. I don't think I added so many things last time. So, yeah. With all these specific, I meant the tech. Okay, slowly fading out the further down you go. Yeah, that one's just weird. I don't know why that happens. Maybe it happens because I do have the animations set to entertain me. So every single time you open up a right-click menu, it does that very fancy animation. Maybe it's because of that it like staggers the animation for some reason. So yeah, that's weird. How does it still happen on all your devices? Yeah. I don't know. I have no clue. And as I said, I think I'm the only guy who has this issue. Everyone else, completely fine. So yeah. Honestly, if I had to guess, Patcher has the potential to be the glitchiest thing in FL. It also was a suspicion. Because I think last time when this happened to that one track called Beneath the Beneaths, I think the way how I fixed it was by deleting a random Patcher instance, and somehow that worked. As far as I know. Or was it? No, hang on. Sorry, I'm misremembering. It was Asterix Offenbarung. Asterix Offenbarung. It's I think 2 years after I released the track, I tried again to maybe figure out if I could like somehow salvage the FOP. And I do recall that one time where I once again open up the project file, NFL spits out an error. It was the only time it did that, right? Where it spits out an error and tells me, okay, Serum FX is somehow crashing the project file. And I thought, well, it's a clue, right? I don't know why Serum FX would do it, right? And then I remembered, hang on a second, I had a Patcher patch, right? A Patcher preset, where I just stacked a bunch of Serum FX back to back to back because it had hyperdimension, right? And I was effectively core stacking with that. And I thought, well, okay, if I could identify which Patcher it is, right? Which Patcher it is, which is very difficult with a diagnostic tool, and I delete that Patcher, that might solve the issue. And I tried that, and I think it did solve the issue. I think that did solve the issue. But again, I got lucky that time because FL did spit out an error and told me, hey, a certain plugin was crashing it, right? But then again, in this case, deleting the contacts solved the issue. In Beneath the Beneaths, now remember, I had to delete Synaptic Morph, and that solved the issue. In Asterix Offenbarung, it was that Patcher preset with the Serum FX, and that solved the issue. So it's like, it's not one specific plugin that causes FL to crash. I think it's like a combination of having too many plugins inside of the FLP, and then one specific instance just breaking everything. But as I said, I have no clue why. No clue why this happens, no clue how this could happen. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna file a ticket to ImageLine, and maybe they might know more about it. I also made sure that before I reset all my personal settings in FL Studio, that I dumped the debug log of that one FLP of Engellied, right? And I have it stored in an Ocean database. So yeah, if they need that debug log, I can give it to them. But yeah, so that's what I'm dealing with, and I don't know if I can recover that track. I really hope I can, because I don't think those sections are finished. I could like call the song finished if I wanted to, right? Like I did with Asterix Offenbarung. But the thing is, in Asterix Offenbarung, it wasn't really noticeable that certain sections needed polishing, right? On this one, I can notice that certain sections need polishing, and I do want to keep working on it. So it's like, frustrating. Very frustrating. So yeah. Also, hi Cosmic. I was currently discussing and documenting this very strange bug that I had in FL for years now. And yeah, I'm gonna see if I can send it over to ImageLine and maybe they have some kind of solution, because listen, I want to be enlightened. I have no idea why this happens, right? I only had vague clues and like, yeah, I still am clueless, right? So, yeah, I'm gonna see if I can send it over and, I don't know. Have you ever tried what happens when someone else opens one of those broken FLPs? You know what? That is actually also a suggestion that I still have to try. The problem is that it might not work because the person that I could send it to doesn't have the same plugins as me. I should probably have to tell them, hey, you need to install this plugin, this plugin, this plugin, this plugin. They have to give me like a list of their plugins. I have to give them a list of my plugins, right? And they would have to install every single plugin that is missing, and I don't know if I want to do that to them. But other than that, yeah. And even if they don't install everything, that means that, well, because one plugin isn't installed on their end, their bug could not trigger because of that, right? So they absolutely need to have every single plugin that I have installed as well. And that's tedious. I could maybe try asking Paul, because he's the only person that somewhat has the same stuff as me, right? And I could tell him, hey, I'm sorry, but unfortunately you're gonna have to install Camel Crusher for me. You're gonna have to install Camel Crusher for me, yo, and just, I'm gonna give you the FLP and just see if it maybe loads. But yeah. I remember I had that song I was gonna finish for a label I was looking forward to send to, and it kept crashing every time. I would open the project file and it pissed me off for hours. Yeah, this is kind of similar. It's very, very similar. But the thing is, it doesn't crash. FL doesn't just crash out. It kind of like just it's weirdly taunting you, saying like, the project loaded, but you can't use it. So yeah. It's really, God, it pisses me off as well. But yeah, okay. I think that's about it. Yeah, that's literally it, because I haven't prepared anything else. I was like looking forward to do this and this only. So yeah, I'm gonna see what I can do to the project file, and in the meantime, yeah, I'm gonna send a ticket to the ImageLine. And yeah, here's the thing. I think next stream is gonna be in 2 weeks, because next week I do have an afternoon shift. Yeah, that's an afternoon shift. I could maybe try streaming on Saturdays, but but if I do that, I'll let everybody know. And yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna end the stream now, so so I'm not gonna waste anybody's time now. But okay. So yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely day. I hope your project files do open without issue. And yeah, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks back in Monday, or next week Saturday, depending on whether I am in the mood or not.